come with me to the Apartheid Museum in South Africa. I'm really excited because this has been on my to-do list for the longest time. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Stepping into the Apartheid Museum, you're welcomed with quotes by Nelson Mandela. And the journey begins here. So it takes you approximately 3 hours to properly digest the information in the Apartheid Museum. Here we are at the entrance, divided into two, one for white and the other for non-white, that's black. So the ticket you get at the entrance affords you the opportunity to get in through either of these openings. Yes, it's either you're going in as a black or white. I got the non-white, so I have to go through here. And this has nothing to do with the color of your skin. So going in here, you can see the identities for the black people. On the other side, it's identities for the Asians and the mixed race. And these people seated at that table in the picture are a panel of judges. They were the ones that determined people's skin color. They'll take a pen and put it into your hair, bring it out, and then decide if you're black, white, mixed, Asian, or not. Their verdict actually determines your fate for the rest of your life. My God.
They will certainly determine your destiny for the rest of your life.
So, no matter what you think you are, they can decide that today you are not black, you are white. Oh, you're not Chinese, you are black. Oh, man. So these write-ups are from the assembly debates, parliamentary debates, and the population registration that reiterates the difference between white and colored, and how this method of classification was being used. Now it's time for us to take a walk to the other areas of the Apartheid Museum. And I love this pictorial. What do you call this? What's the actual name for this? I don't know, but I love it. I will call this the endurance walk because, as you can see, the sun is sunning. Very hot, but I had to vlog. Now we are in the main building of the Apartheid Museum, and that is the definition of apartheid: a system of segregation based on grounds of race. That's my friend, Toda! I didn't go there alone. So these are some of the pictures of people that also partook in the fight for freedom, and some of the artifacts, South African artifacts. These are the names Mandela is called. Mandela, Nelson, Madiba. I can never forget Madiba. I like to call him Madiba. A comrade, a negotiator, prisoner, statesman, a leader, and more. Here is the Mercedes Benz that was customized for Mandela. Moving round, there are videos playing at different angles in the museum, all portraying what happened during the apartheid struggle. Interviews Mandela had with pressmen, news articles, publications, and more publications. Hold up, that's Mandela's gun. I had to take a closer look at the gun. And soak in all the information about people that visited him during his stay in prison, the plate he used, the cup he used, his shovel. Back to the Mercedes-Benz. This car was presented to Mandela by Mercedes-Benz South Africa at a political rally in 1990. For times like this, I had to take a selfie because my children gotta know that their mother saw Mandela's Mercedes-Benz. I'm just kidding, but this was one for the books for me. I couldn't miss out on a selfie. These are press articles campaigning for the release of Nelson Mandela after he was arrested. Mandela spent over 27 years in prison, arrested in 1964 and released in 1990. Now here we are about to see a representation of Mandela's prison on Robben Island. That was the first prison he stayed before he was transferred to other prisons. He first spent 18 years in Robben Island prison. Now these are clips from the political rallies, from the crusades that were held when Mandela was alive and when he was released. Watching these videos made me tear up. How can somebody be so great and selfless and brave? Still unbelievable. Now, this is the Truth to Power Hall, where we see depictions of how Christianity and faith played a role in South Africans' fight for freedom. Also, how children and individuals were being taught about apartheid, how they sought to answer questions on religion as it relates to apartheid. Is God black? Is God white? On whose side is God? There was constant battle between churches that supported colonialism and racial oppression and those who fought it. This is Reverend Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela's closest friend. They had a lifetime relationship that spanned more than 50 years. Wow. So here we're asked to pick a quote from either Desmond Tutu or Dalai Lama. I was lucky enough to pick from Desmond Tutu.
Without forgiveness, we remain tethered to the person who harmed us. We are bound to the chains of bitterness, tied together, trapped. Until we can forgive the person who harmed us, that person will hold the key to our happiness. That person will be our jailer. When we forgive, we take back control of our own fate and our feelings. We become our own liberator. Desmond Tutu. So factual. So I got another one. To choose hope is to step firmly forward into the howling wind, bearing one's chest to the elements, knowing that in time the short storm will pass. Despair turns inward. Hope sends us into the arms of others. Hope.
These notes made me realize that great men had things in common: hope, selflessness, and love. Here we see beautiful write-ups about Mandela's life and how people created cartoons using his life story. This is the amazing 67-minute hourglass project in commemoration of Mandela Day. This is a celebration of Mandela Day. Everyone, regardless of your level in the society, we all come together to celebrate Mandela. And this is me vibing. Free Nelson Mandela. And now it's time for me to do the legacy walk like Mandela did. I picked up a stick with the color of the person that I think inspires me the most. It's my mother. Red is for love, so that's a color. And then I did the Mandela Walk and put it where it belongs.
This is the best part of my visit to South Africa. I cried. I dried my eyes. I cried. Like, how can somebody be so great? I mean, we had people that fought for Nigerian independence, but I don't think we have stories that touch like this. And, you know, his life is just so exemplary, so inspiring. May God help us to do that.
At this point, I didn't even know what I was saying anymore. If you leave me, I would just want to be a Mandela. You know, when you've read so much and you've seen so much about somebody's life and your head wants to burst. That's where I was. The great thing is the museum is not only about Mandela, it's focused on the apartheid and the struggle of South Africans, how they fought to gain their freedom. So now we're about to see other contributors to the freedom of South Africa. This is Cyril Ramaphosa, the current president of South Africa, Chris Hani, and others. And here is the South African Bill of Rights. These rights were definitely infringed.
I mean, we studied all this in school, but getting to see physical representation, I feel so blessed. I don't know what other word.
So this was another spot that got to me. Individuals that were arrested were detained in the solitary confinement. These words of Solomon Malango really melted my heart. That his blood will tell people that he loves them. South African government passed a law permitting 90 days detention, which was later extended to 180 days. And these detainees were kept in cells such as this. No air, no light, no space, no breathing space. They suffered. These are solitary confinements. Remember, these are replications. Now we are in the ammunition hall, like I would like to call it. I don't know a better name. So these are decommissioned weapons that were destroyed by the South African Police Service. After the end of the military struggle for liberation and wars in neighboring states in South Africa, the country was awash with arms. These weapons are symbols of the struggle for freedom. We also went to like a mini cinema where we got to see the protests, how people died, the clash between the citizens and the policemen, and it was really bloody, really, really bloody. You know, 29 years later, I don't think that they have completely healed from that experience. But this visit was relieving to see all that I read in the books live and direct. And in my favorite saying, this is one for the books. After our tour, I and my friend Toda went to have lunch. This was so yum shots. But I went there hungry and ended up eating this only. The taste was hitting the right spot. And that wraps up my visit to the Apartheid Museum, South Africa. Hope you had fun watching as much as I did. Enjoy my tour. If you enjoyed my video, please kindly click the subscribe button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Mwah.